Matt Gaetz apparently interfered with an investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice last year. And believe it or not, folks, it's actually not the current investigation that has roped Matt Gaetz in. No, this was a completely separate event brought by U.S. Attorney Larry Keefe. And Larry Keefe is a U.S. attorney, of course, appointed by Donald Trump. And what Mr. Keefe wanted to do was he wanted to open up an investigation, a DOJ investigation here in the state of Florida to root out voter fraud following the election, right? Because that's all conservatives knew how to do to deal with their losses rather than accept the fact that people rejected them. So he goes to the DOJ and says, I'm going to open up this investigation. DOJ's Office of Public Integrity said, yeah, I mean, the scope of your investigation's a little too broad. We're not sure you can really do what you're wanting to do. So U.S. Attorney Keefe had nowhere else to turn, didn't know what to do. He wanted to appease Donald Trump. So, according to reports, he approached Matt Gaetz. It said, Matt, buddy, what can you do? Can you go talk to Trump to talk to the DOJ? And Matt said, don't worry, I got your back. So Matt Gaetz, admittedly, he says he did this. He did go and talk to Donald Trump and he said, Donnie, the DOJ's not letting him investigate. You need to do something. Go tell him he can investigate. And when Bill Barr, who was then the Attorney General, found out about this, he approached U.S. Attorney Keefe and he said, if I ever hear of you talking to Gaetz or any other congressman again about business before the department, I am going to effing fire your ass. I want to read that again. I like that. If I ever hear of you talking to Gaetz or any other congressman again about business before the department, I am going to effing fire your ass. That's a fun quote, right? Here's the thing. Matt Gaetz, acting in pure little frat boy, I always have to have my way fashion, went and told Daddy Donald that the U.S. attorney wasn't getting his way because Bill Barr's DOJ says they're too broad in scope. Like, that's it. They didn't even say, by the way, that you couldn't conduct this investigation. They said, hey, you're a little too broad in scope. Right? That's the phrase, broad in scope. Maybe narrow it down a bit. Instead of going on a fishing expedition, which is what this was, they didn't have any evidence. They wanted to get authority to go maybe try to whatever, which isn't, by the way, how it works. You typically come with evidence saying, hey, we have evidence here that suggests there could be fraud. Can we investigate? The DOJ is like, oh, hell yeah, go for that. But he didn't do that. He said, look, I think there could have been bad things here in Florida. And that's it. But he didn't do that. He didn't do it the right way. Keefe wanted to appease Donald Trump. And when he didn't get his way, he went to another guy who knows how to appease Donald Trump. And then Bill Barr got pissed. This entire Department of Justice under Donald Trump was one giant cluster F, to put it gently. But at least we also know now that Matt Gaetz isn't a stranger to asking people with more authority to interfere with the Department of Justice. Wonder how that's going to play out for him in the current investigations. Today's video sponsor is COVID Rescue Fund, and right now you can go to covidrescuefund.org and help them raise money for small businesses that have closed as a result of the pandemic. Here in the United States, over the last year, more than 100,000 small businesses have had to shut their doors because of the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. And covidrescuefund.org is raising money to help these businesses reopen. Now, we all know Congress has released money. A lot of it got gobbled up by major corporations, but the rest of it went to help businesses to keep their doors open. But that didn't help businesses that had already shut down, and that is exactly what COVID Rescue Fund is trying to do, to not just help revitalize small businesses and local economies, but to help people's dreams continue to flourish. So again, go to covidrescuefund.org or simply click on the link at the top of the video description below and help small businesses reopen their doors.